So we're going to answer this last question about Frida's work right here. What feeling does Frida focus on, and what made her feel this way? So when she's writing her letter to her friends, what kind of feeling does she have? What does she say about Diego? What is she most concerned about telling her friends about? And how do those things make her feel? We're going to move on to Diego's writing. So Frida, we just read what she wrote about her marriage with Diego, and now we're going to read what Diego said about his marriage to Frida. First, I'm going to go down underneath the writing and I'm going to read my questions. What did Kahlo want from Riviera when they first met? So that's the first thing we're going to find is, from his perspective, what is it that she says that she wants? Why does she think that he's not giving her honest opinion? His honest opinion about her work? So why does she say that she doesn't believe that he's telling her the truth? And we need some text evidence for that. Next they're writing about the same topic. So this is going to start our comparisons. So really right now we want to focus on these first two questions. So I'm going to go back up and I'm going to read part of the text. What did Frida want from Diego? Okay, so in this first paragraph, I see that he's talking about the happiest times of his life. I want to remember that in my head for later when I want to write a comparison, because I already have the knowledge that I acquired from reading about Frida's side of the story. So he says, he heard a girl shouting, "This girl is going to be Frida." I turned my head and looked down from my scaffold. On the ground beneath me stood a girl of about 18. So Frida is only 18 years old when they marry, or when they meet each other. She had a fine, nervous body, topped by a delicate face. Her hair was long, dark, thick eyebrows met above her nose. They seemed like the wings of a blackbird, their black arches framing two extraordinary brown eyes. So he compares her eyebrows at the top of her head to that of a bird's. When I climbed down, she said, "I didn't come here for fun. I have to work to earn my livelihood. I have done some paintings which I want you to look over professionally. I want an absolutely straightforward opinion, because I cannot afford to go on just to appease my vanity." So I'm going to pause there. My question is, what does she want from him when they first meet? In this first part of the paragraph, I've learned that she did not come here for fun or her enjoyment. She is working. She's a painter, and she wants him to look that over professionally. So she wants his opinion professionally about her paintings. So I'm going to use that information to answer my first question. And then she continues, I want you to tell me whether you think I can become a good enough artist to make it worth my while to go on. I've brought 3 of my paintings here. Will you come and look at them? So again, wants the professional opinion of Diego to look at the paintings and say, should she continue painting or should she quit? She undoubtedly noticed the enthusiasm in my face, for before I could say anything, she admonished me in a harshly defensive tone. I have not come here looking for compliments. I want the criticism of a serious man. I'm neither an art lover nor an amateur. I'm simply a girl who must work for her living. So she tells Diego, I have not come here looking for you to basically compliment me and tell me, oh, you're so good. If I'm not, then just tell me, because I have to make money. He says, this is Diego talking, I felt deeply moved by admiration for this girl. Admiration means that he likes her, that he feels very warmly towards her. I had to restrain myself from praising her as much as I wanted to. So he has to hold himself back from telling her all the good things that he thinks about her, because he doesn't want to be overeager. He doesn't want to come off like, oh, I'm just complimenting you. Yet I could not be completely insincere. I was puzzled by her attitude. Why, I asked her, didn't she trust my judgment? So this is our second question, is why does she say that she doesn't trust what he's saying? Hadn't she come herself to ask for it? So he's thinking to himself, well, why did she come to ask me for my opinion if she doesn't believe me? So we're about to find out why she doesn't believe him. She says, the trouble is, she replied, that some of your good friends have advised me not to put too much stock in what you say. So your friends have told me not to believe everything you say. They say that if a girl who asks your opinion and she's not an absolute horror, you are ready to gush all over her. Well, I want you to tell me only one thing. Do you actually believe that I should continue to paint, or should I turn to some other sort of work? So I'm going to go back and pause at this sentence here. So your friends have told me that if a girl asks your opinion and she's not an absolute horror, or she's not completely hideous, you are ready to gush all over her. You are ready to tell her everything that she wants to hear. So basically, if you find someone attractive, you're willing to lie to them. So I'm going to use that information down here on my number 2 question. Why did she not think he was giving her honest opinion, right? What did she just say his friends have told her? And then we want to cite that evidence from the text. You need to continue reading to be able to answer the rest of the questions because you want to understand the differences between what he is saying about the relationship versus what she is saying. So I would make sure that you read towards the end. He talks about she does die before he does, 27 years later, right? And they get married, and she dies. And at 18, it says that he was twice her age, but they didn't feel like it was awkward. They are getting married, and then he tells of their wedding, and he focuses on all of those times before they actually even get married, right? He's focusing on the meeting. He's excited to meet her. He thinks that she's very interesting, and then he focuses on their marriage. So what is the difference between what he's focusing on? What types of times are those? Are those happy or sad or angry or mad? What kind of times are those? Versus what did we say that Frida had focused on in her writing? So that would be this question number 3. They write about the same topic. And you're going to talk about Frida. What does she emphasize? So go back to that last question that we talked about Frida. This is preparing you to write down here. And then identify one thing that he talks about in their relationship. And then this last one, this is worth 16 points. So again, you need to be writing a full paragraph. You need at least 2 quotations, one from each story. What does Frida talk about versus what Diego talk about? Are they similar or are they different? What are their feelings about their relationship? And how would you describe their relationship based on what they said? And then this is a little exit ticket. You're only reading these 2 questions or these 2 writings here, which are part of what you've already read, and then answering, choosing A, B, C, or D.